Kristie Fields, founder and CEO of PinkSlayer Community Outreach.
What inspired you to create PinkSlayer?
Well, I'm a two-time cancer survivor, and I have a lot of friends or family that was affected by cancer. Both parents have passed away due to complications of cancer. So I just wanted to give back to the community, help more people get through the process of being diagnosed. Unfortunately, cancer is not something that discriminates, and most people in lower to mid-income areas are affected more by the rates of death that you see in those communities.
Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about your own journey?
Yes, well, I was first diagnosed in 2014 with breast cancer. I felt a small pea-sized bump on my right breast, and I thought nothing of it at first. And then when it started growing, that's when my husband and I thought, okay, there's something going on. We tried to get, I didn't have medical insurance, neither one of us did. So we were going to different emergency rooms and different places that were supposed to be income-based, which really wasn't. The minimum we had to pay just to get seen by a doctor was $95. So at the time we had 4 kids still. All 4 kids was under the age of 18, a ton of bills and limited resources. Finally, my husband and my mother convinced me to go to the Veterans Administration for healthcare. And I did, and that's when I was given the opportunity to be seen. By that time, it was around in April of the following year. It was in April 2014. And my pea-sized bump turned into a golf ball size tumor very quickly. So needless to say, the VA was able to do surgery to remove it. I started the treatment process, and it was kind of smooth sailing from there as far as on the medical side. But in my personal life, it was a little bit difficult because life does not stop when you get cancer or when you're diagnosed or going through any kind of trauma. It keeps going. And we had teenagers at the time and a 6-year-old. So needless to say, my life was still going on. The second time I was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2020, I had no symptoms whatsoever. I requested a colonoscopy. And this is only after endoscopy was done, other exams was done, and nothing was found. Blood work was done, and I was going to the doctor every 6 months since 2014, the first diagnosis. So when the endoscopy, they didn't see anything up there, I said, can I please have a colonoscopy? And the doctor said, yes, we'll give it to her to just to clear her mind or so she can feel better, but we're not going to find anything. Well, the first one was canceled because that's when the world shut down in March of 2020. And I didn't think nothing of it because we didn't think I had anything. I had no symptoms. I did testing, blood work, and everything was coming back negative. So I thought this would come back negative as well. Well, September of 2020, I had the colonoscopy done, and they found a stage 3 tumor. And it was mind-blowing that even though I was advocating for myself and had a awesome medical support team checking me twice a year for the past 5, 6 years, I still came up with the stage 3 tumor because there are no symptoms associated with colon cancer until it's too late. So that was my experience with both of them. I learned a lot from being diagnosed the first time, which I think is what pushed me to request different tests to make sure there was nothing else growing anywhere else.
Can you tell me some of the programs you have with PinkSlayer?
Absolutely. We have support groups. We support people that's going through treatment. We started out with buying groceries and gas cards. Now we have a storefront where we offer prosthetics for breast cancer clients. We have ostomy products for people who got to get their colon removed. We have supplies for that. Lymphedema supplies. We have those garments and things of that nature. So pretty much anything you can think of related to cancer that you may need, we have here in my boutique in Suffolk.
And then with the organization, how important is it for someone going through what you went through to have a support system?
It is imperative that everyone who goes through this have a support system. Some people may get through it by themselves, but this is not something that you will want to go through by yourself. Even if it's someone that you call up and talk and ask questions. One of the other services we do, we have a navigation sector as well, where we help people navigate through the healthcare system and help them communicate more effectively with their medical team. So just in case because actually when you're being diagnosed for the first time and second, everything sounds like the Charlie Brown teacher, wonk, 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 after you've been told those dreadful words that you have cancer. So 9 times out of 10, you're not going to remember anything past that moment in that doctor's office. So my company will come in and first let you vent, let you get it out, scream, cry, whatever you need to do. And then we get down to business to help you get the help you need.
For you, how does it feel to be helping people?
Oh my goodness. It's like air for me. I was raised to always help and to do more, to give more than what you receive. And also, if you have knowledge, you have to share it and not be afraid when people tell you, okay, I don't want to hear it right now. Just make sure they know that you're always there when they do want to hear it, not because everybody needs some type of support. So I just feel honored. I feel it's a privilege for people to come and trust me with their most intimate thoughts. I don't take any of it for granted. I'm very appreciative for people allowing me to help them because it's a process.
Does helping others help your own healing journey?
Well, yeah, it does. The one thing, well, the first time when I went through chemo, I was like, well, God, if you can just get me through this, I'll make sure no one else have to go through what I went through. Because my husband and I, we didn't have a clue. We didn't know anyone that was young that had cancer, and the ones that we did know about, they were passing away. So of course, our immediate thought was, okay, I'm not going to be here that long. And I personally thought that when I was first diagnosed. And one particular event was my daughter's 7th birthday. We went all out because I thought that was going to be my last birthday with her. Well, she's 16 now, so needless to say, that was not my last birthday with her. But having a strong support system and someone that you can go to and see that has been through it that gives you hope. So it wasn't until I started seeing people who has beat the odds, and I was like, okay, wait, maybe I can get through this. All right, it's time to fight. So that's when I put on the fighting gloves and knocked out cancer for the moment.
Do you see people who are going through cancer and getting help from you? Do you see their confidence rise?
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's almost like if you have kids and you see them take those first couple of steps and you're like the proud parent. It's one of those moments. I really enjoy seeing people come into their own when it comes to conquering their fear about the disease. Because, I mean, let's face it, when you're told something as devastating as that, you're scared. You don't know what to think. So to see people actually gain the confidence and put on those gloves and say, okay, Kristie, I'm ready. What's my next steps? That's like a triumphant move. And that's when I like to pounce in and say, okay, we're doing this and that.
What do you do to help your own mental health?
Pray. I can't do any of this without prayer. I talk to my husband a lot until he falls asleep, and I still be talking even though he's asleep. But I just pray and talk it out, and you know, just make sure I write my thoughts down, just to make sure I stay on the right track and remain humble, and just go over conversations that I had with my mom, and imagine what would she think or feel of whatever it is I'm doing. So if it's something I don't think she would like, then of course I'll stray away from that. But if it's something that I know that she would agree with, I always go on that route and try to make others feel better than what I'm feeling at that moment.
Yeah, what would you say to anyone who is going through cancer?
I would say first get a great support team, because you are going to need a good support team. And the second thing, once you get a little bit out of your feelings, once you get your crying out, um, your why me phase out, put on your glove and start fighting. This is cancer is something you have to mentally and physically fight. So if you're not in that place mentally, then of course you'll succumb to anything. But once you get all the emotional stuff out the way, just go full force and fight.
Where do you want to see PinkSlayer in the next, say, 3 to 5 years?
I want PinkSlayer to be a household name. I want I want the community to know if there's any question or any issue they have about cancer or any other health issue that they have questions about. I want them to be able to click on the link or pick up the phone and call and get the information they need to fight for their life or their loved one's life.
Yeah, how can people reach out and learn more?
Well, you can have, I have a website, www.pinkslayer.org, and they can reach me at 757-809-0129. And that's also linked, that number is linked to my cell phone, so I will get it even if we're not in the boutique.